nest that he found, and he's aiming it at the beam, and the energy that's given off by the nest will cause the needle to turn towards the direction that the beam is going. So I actually bought a Russian torsion wave generator device. I'm not going to say how to get one right now because they can be harmful if you don't know what you're doing with them. But I was doing a lot of experiments with this device, and I started to use the device in conjunction with this detector. And it is absolutely amazing because when you turn on the device, the needle will actually turn and rotate right in alignment with the beam. So here's an example where a scientist said this would work. I bought a Russian device that generates these energy fields even more powerfully than a beehive. I aimed it at the needle, and sure enough, the needle turned. Now, the weird thing, though, is that if you get excited about this and it works, and then you want to do it a different way, you want to do it maybe off to the right, it doesn't work as well. So the more that you try to do it in one area, the less effective it's going to be. And that's because of something that the Russians call latent vacuum structuring. In other words, these energy fields create currents that continue to flow in nature. They will just exist in nature. So, for example, if I zap the beam in a certain angle, I'm creating a wave with a central axis. There's a central spherical torus with the donut hole in the middle. That's what's happening as I zap this area. So that spherical torus continues spinning and continues generating energetic forces, which again are gravitational because it's pushing against this charcoal thing. It makes it spin in a different direction. So once you've gotten that current going, though, if you then change the angle and go off of a different direction, the original one you created is still flowing, so now you're fighting against it. And that was one of the fascinating things I discovered personally in this gravitational research, is that it wants to do the thing that it's already doing. It wants to stay in the direction it's already going. So again, it all comes back to, can you create one of these bubbles of energy and get this thing flowing in one area? And if you're inside of it, then you might actually levitate. So here in the next slide is an example of him using, in this case, insect wings. And we'll talk a lot more about this. He discovered a particular type of insect that would levitate as it flew. And so here he's showing that when you generate these fields, you actually get distortions in the flow of time. And this is another one of the really interesting things that we'll be learning as time goes on, is that changes in the flow of gravity also are changes in the flow of time. The two are interchangeable. The minute that you shield off gravity from a given area, you're also shielding off time. So this